This tutorial is about making decisions in Java. As you know, in real life we make different types of decisions. So in this tutorial I'm gonna teach you how to make a real if else or like switch different kinds of decisions. So I'm gonna start off with another blank file, and it is gonna be import. Sorry, Java. I always forget to do this. Import Java x.swing.j option pane. Oh, sorry. We are gonna click public class age validator. Right. This will check. Okay, let's see what happens. Public static void main string args, and in this program we will accept age from the user. We will store the age in an integer variable, since we don't have ages in points like 2.5 years old. That's not the case. So we are gonna store the age in an integer variable, and what we'll do is that we will check if the age is more than 60. If it is, then we will say that the user is quite old. We will also check afterwards if the age is greater than 60 and less than 80. If that's the case, then we'll say you're quite old. But if the age is more than 80, then we'll say that you are very old. So for now we're just gonna check if the age is more than 60. To do that, we're gonna accept input from the user using show input dialog, and using an integer variable we are gonna store the input by passing it through integer.parseInt. And yeah, let's do it. Okay, to define an int variable we have to write int space the name of that variable, we call it age here. Then we assign the value of j.show message dialog, but since we know now that we have to convert that into integer, we're gonna write straight away integer.parseInt, and then j.pane.show show input dialog. And in the input dialog we're going to prompt the user to type in age, so that's going to be please type in your age. Another one, semicolon. That's it. Now in the next line we're going to check if the age is more than 60. For that we have to write an if statement. Every if statement starts with if, and then the condition in round brackets like this, and we write the condition as if age greater than equal to 60. Now if you have got only one line to write in an if statement, you do not need to put in curly brackets. You just write j option pane.show. Okay, let's not do this. It's a good practice to put in curly bracket. So j option pane.show message dialog null you are quite old. Right? But what happens if the age is not more than equal to 60? We have not specified anything here. What happens if that's not the case? So currently what will happen is that if the age is more than 60, more than equal to 60, it will do this. But if it's not, it's just gonna exit the if statement and we'll just end the program. But we want to do that to something if the case is wrong. So what we do is we put in else, then the curly bracket, and then we close the bracket, and then we write j option paint.show message dialog null, you are still young. So in this program, what's going to happen is the program gets executed, it asks for your age, it converts the age, passes it into int, and stores into an integer variable called age. Then it checks if the information stored in the age variable is more than equal to 60. Here, say we type in age is 18, so it will check if the age is more than equal to 60. Obviously 18 is not more than equal to 60, so it will not execute this, but it will go to the else statement and will print this. Say we type in age as 65, then it will go into if age is more than equal to 60, and since 65 is more than equal to 60, it will do this. Then it will not do this, but it will get out of the if statement and will end the program. So okay, so since we have understood everything, let's do it. Oh, okay, first I'll have to save this by Control S on my desktop, age validator .java. Save, and in the tools I'm gonna compile it first. Exit code is still 0, so we are good to go. And then run Java. Please type in your age. I'm 18 years old right now, so okay, you're still young. Oh yeah. I'm gonna run it again to check what happens if the age is 65. So type in your age 65 and okay. You're quite old. You look, 65 executes this and 18 executes this. This is the true block and this is the false block. If the condition here, okay, let me close this. If the condition here goes true, then this gets executed. Sorry. If the condition here goes true, then this gets executed. But if the condition here goes false, then this gets executed. Always this is the case. If, then the true block, else, then the false block. So I'm gonna check what happens if I type in 60 as the age. Run Java. Type in 60. You're quite old, because I said here age is greater than equal to 60. It is equal to 60, so it says you're quite old. However, if I remove equals and if I recompile and rerun my program, and if I type in 60 here, it will say you're still young, because its age is more than 60. A 60 is not more than 60, so the condition is false, and so the false block gets executed. Okay, let's make it equal 60, and let's check what happens if 60. Okay, I'll have to save it, or we'll have to compile it. Every time you make changes to your file, you will have to save it, you will have to recompile it, and you have to run the recompiled class file. I'm gonna run it. 60. You're good to go. You're quite old. Okay. Now, as I said before, we're gonna discuss what happens if the age is greater than or equal to 60, and what happens if the age is less than 20. So that is an else if block. If else if. So if then the true block, then else if, this gets false and then else if gets executed. And then if the else if is true, then the true block of the else if gets executed. And if both of the conditions are false, then finally the else gets executed. So we write in else if age less than 20, right? Less than equal to 20. Let's make it less than equal to. So it types, I mean, what we want is that if age is less than equal to 20, then it will say show message no. Wow, you are gorgeous. So in this case, what will happen is if the age is more than equal to 60, then this gets executed and it will exit the program. However, if age is not more than equal to 60, then it will check this if age is less than equal to 20. If age is less than equal to 20, then only this gets executed and then it exits the if statement. However, if this and this is false, then finally this gets executed. I hope you understand. So let's save the file and let's compile it. Process ID code is 0. We're good to go. Run it. Type in your age. Okay. To check it, I'm gonna type in first 65. You're quite old, right? I'm gonna rerun it. To check it again, I'm gonna type in 50. No, I mean age is less than 20, so I'm gonna type in 18. Wow, you're gorgeous. You see, 18 is less than equal to 20, so only this is executed, since this is false. And I'm gonna rerun it, and I'm gonna check what happens if I type in 50. 50 is not more than equal to 60, neither it is less than equal to 20, so else should be executed. So it should say you are still young. And yeah, it says you are still young. So I hope you know now that this is the case. However, what we are gonna do is, you can have as many else if you want in an if statement. If, else if, else if, else if, else if, as many as you want. Now our next thing is we have to specify a range. If age is more than equal to 60 and if it's less than 80, then it should say you are old, and if it's more than 80, then it should say you are very old. Now to combine two if statements, we use the AND operator, but with AND age less than equal to 80. That what the AND operator does is, if this condition and this condition are true, then only this gets executed. However, if this is true and if this is false, then this does not get executed. If any of them is false, then it will not proceed. Here what we want is range, so we have to put in AND operator to make sure that the test goes through the range. So here age is more than equal to 60 and it is less than equal to 80. Now in the next step we have to put in age is less than equal to 20 and age is greater than equal to 5. So here what happens is, if the age is more than equal to 5 and if age is less than equal to 20, that is, if age is between 5 and 20, then a dialog box appears and says you're gorgeous. And else, I mean, if that's not the case, then it will just say this. But we also want that if the age is more than 80, then it should say you are terrific, I mean, you are terribly old. So else if age more than 80, then dialog no You are terrific. And if all above cases are false, then it says you are still young. But here, if you have marked, if the age is between 60 and 80, it says you're quite old. If the age is between 5 and 20, it says you're gorgeous. If age is more than 80, then it says you're terrific. But we haven't specified what happens if the age is between 20 and 60. So we put in another else if statement. Age more than 20 and age less than 60. And we're gonna write that is quite appropriate. So we are considering all the cases here except what happens if the age is less than 5. So instead of you're still young, you are a kid. Okay, here we are considering all cases. If the age is less than 5, I mean if age is between 5 and 20, then it says you are gorgeous. If the age is more than 20 and less than 60, then it says that's quite appropriate. If the age is more than 60 and is less than 80, then it says you are quite old. And if age is more than 80, then it says you are terrific. Okay, so let's save this and let's compile this. Process x equals 0. We are very good to go. We're gonna run it. Please type in your age. Okay. To test this program, I'm just gonna go through all of them in the order as they are. So between 60 to 80. So let's type in 70. You're quite old. Let me rerun it. If more than 5, less than 20. So let's consider 18 as the case. Wow, you're gorgeous. Let me rerun it. Now more than 80, so let's type in 90. You're terrific. And let me rerun it. And what happens if the all if less than 60 and 20, so if we type in 40, that's quite appropriate, yeah. And last time, what if all of them are false, like what we type in, what if we type in 3? You're a kid. Actually 3 is not a kid, 3 is like baby. Okay, so we're gonna have, so in this tutorial you'll learn quite a lot about if statements and about comparing different aspects of comparing and making appropriate decisions on time, like what happens if this, that should happen, what happens if this, then this should happen. Like, it is a very important part in programming. I mean, I'll tell you, without if statements, programming is quite impossible. So this is the backbone of programming, and especially in Java. I mean, especially in any programming language, I'd say if statements play an integral part. So I taught you this today about if statement, making decisions in Java, making you have learned about show message dialog, making more than one decision at the same time, like this, more than 60, less than 80, and operator. There are other operators like and operator, or means if any of this, if this or this falls true, or means if either of them are true, then this happens. In the and, both of them has to be true. If you want to put in or operator, you put in this. This is your or operator, and or tells you if the thing is appropriate. I mean, if any of them are true, then that is executed. So I think this is enough for this tutorial. In my next tutorial, I'm going to teach you about switch statements. Switch helps you to go through different cases. It is like if, but it's like nested ifs. I mean, obviously before switch statements, I'm going to let you go through the else if thing again, and about nested ifs, which are also an important part of programming to do a lot of stuff like I mean, I mean, it is quite important. You will see how important that is as we go through this tutorial. I mean, after this, it's gonna be quite important. Like nested ifs and all the stuff. It's gonna be really amazing. I mean, these all things are so important that you might not observe this right now, but like after after you have achieved certain level in this programming, you will see how important they are. Okay, so till then, see ya and have a nice day.